The landscape of global politics has been shaped by numerous events, with the aftermath of the Second World War as a pivotal moment. The formation of alliances, the rise of superpowers, and the marginalization of certain nations played significant roles in defining international relations. This write-up explores the dynamics of power exclusion by examining historical instances, namely the treatment of General de Gaulle during the post-war meetings, and drawing parallels with contemporary gatherings of world leaders, particularly focusing on the possible absence of France in high-stakes discussions involving the United States, Russia, and China. Following the devastation of the Second World War, the Allied powers, primarily the United States, the United Kingdom, and the Soviet Union, met to dictate the terms of a new world order. Winston Churchill, Franklin D. Roosevelt, and Joseph Stalin emerged as the principal architects of this structure, establishing a division that would influence global affairs for decades. Having been overrun and occupied during the war, France was effectively sidelined. Charles de Gaulle, the leader of the Free French forces, was denied a voice in discussions where his nation's future was at stake, reinforcing the idea that power and influence were dictated by victory and military strength, not historical alliances. This exclusion shaped French politics and laid the groundwork for resentment that would bubble beneath the surface of Franco-American relations in subsequent decades. The impact was profound. It highlighted the precarious nature of international diplomacy based on power hierarchies rather than equitable representation. Could this be why France focused her attention on Africa with a firm grip? Fast forward to the present day, and the dynamics of global leadership appear to echo past patterns. A meeting between President Donald Trump and President Vladimir Putin, with the addition of Xi Jinping from China, presents a modern tableau of world powers convening without France. This possible absence is striking, particularly as France remains a significant player in European politics and global affairs. Critics argue that just as de Gaulle's absence from the table signaled exclusion based on wartime failures, today's summits illustrate a continuation of sidelining nations deemed less powerful or influential. In these gatherings, the narrative constructed by the United States, Russia, and China often dominates, reflecting a minotaur-like concentration of power that marginalizes other voices. The current geopolitical climate underscores a shift toward autocratic, centralized leadership that leaves little room for traditional democratic allies. As such, France's exclusion echoes historical precedents, raising questions about the future of international cooperation and the potential for resentment among nations that have historically played significant roles on the world stage. The implications of these dynamics are multifaceted. First, the possible sidelining of France could lead to significant geopolitical ramifications, including strained relations within Europe and the potential for a fragmented international response to global challenges like climate change, security crises, and economic disparities. The absence of diverse voices may compromise the effectiveness of global governance where collaborative solutions are necessary. Moreover, the historical patterns of exclusion risk creating an us versus them mentality, solidifying divides among nations based on perceived power and influence. This could foster instability as nations that feel overlooked may retreat into isolationism or seek alternative alliances, disrupting established global order. The parallels between the post-World War II dynamics and today's geopolitical landscape illuminate the enduring struggles over power and inclusion in international relations. As the discussions around global cooperation continue, it is imperative to recognize that the strength of diplomacy lies not merely within the hands of a few powerful leaders, but through the collective engagement of all nations, regardless of their historical or current standing. Just as the lessons of the past shaped the future of post-war Europe, the contemporary era demands introspection and a commitment to inclusivity to forge a truly united global future. The ghosts of history, including the avoidance of marginalized voices such as France, serve as a reminder of the delicate balance between power and representation on the world stage.